He was the man no one saw coming, quiet, shy, and often underestimated. For years, Ulysses S. Grant was a man defined by failure. He graduated from the prestigious West Point Military Academy, served his country, but when he returned to civilian life, his world crumbled. He drifted from one failed job to the next. His business ventures collapsed, and he was forced to take a job in his father's leather shop just to put food on the table for his family. To many, he was a lost cause, a man whose best days were long behind him. But history had other plans. When the American Civil War tore the nation apart, Grant answered the call to duty. He rejoined the Army, and something incredible happened. The quiet, unassuming man revealed a hidden strength, a core of iron will. While others panicked in the chaos of battle, Grant was calm. While others hesitated, he acted. He moved forward relentlessly with a boldness that stunned his allies and terrified his enemies. His star began to rise. At Fort Donelson, his demand for unconditional surrender echoed across the country, earning him a nickname and a reputation as a commander who wouldn't back down. He wasn't a flashy general, but he understood the grim arithmetic of war. He knew that to win, you had to be willing to fight, to push, and to keep pushing no matter the cost. Then came the turning point, the siege of Vicksburg. For weeks, Grant's army laid siege to the Confederate stronghold on the Mississippi River. It was a masterpiece of strategy and perseverance. When Vicksburg finally fell, the Union gained control of the entire river, effectively splitting the Confederacy in two. It was a devastating blow, a strategic victory that changed the course of the war. And it was all thanks to Grant's unshakable determination. His success didn't stop there. At the Battle of Chattanooga, he arrived to find a Union army trapped and on the verge of starvation. With tactical brilliance, he broke the siege, drove back the Confederates, and secured another crucial victory. His ability to turn desperate situations into decisive triumphs was becoming legendary. President Abraham Lincoln had finally found the general he had been searching for, a fighter who wouldn't give up. In 1864, Lincoln promoted Grant to lieutenant general and gave him command of all Union armies. His mission was simple but monumental: defeat General Robert A. Lee and end the war. What followed was a brutal year-long campaign. Grant pursued Lee's army across Virginia, engaging in some of the bloodiest battles of the war: the Wilderness, Spotsylvania, Cold Harbor. Unlike previous Union commanders who retreated after a single defeat, Grant pressed on. He famously told his superiors, "I propose to fight it out on this line if it takes all summer." His relentless pressure wore down Lee's once invincible army. Finally, in April 1865, at a small courthouse in Appomattox, Virginia, Lee surrendered. The war was over. The Union was preserved. The quiet man from Ohio had become the nation's greatest hero. He wasn't a hero because he was flawless. He was a hero because he refused to be defined by his past failures. He was a symbol of resilience, a quiet strength that had saved the Republic. His journey wasn't over. Riding a wave of immense popularity, Grant was elected the 18th President of the United States. He entered the White House with a vision for a truly reunited nation, one where the rights of all citizens, including the newly freed African Americans, were protected. He took a firm stand against the rising terror of the Ku Klux Klan, using federal power to crush the organization and enforce the 15th Amendment, which guaranteed black men the right to vote. He fought for justice and equality with the same tenacity he had shown on the battlefield. However, his presidency was marred by a series of scandals. Grant was a man who valued loyalty above all else, but this trait became his weakness. He placed immense trust in his friends and political allies, and many of them betrayed that trust, using their positions for personal gain. Corruption scandals erupted around him, tarnishing his administration's reputation. Though Grant himself was never personally implicated and remained a man of integrity, he was heavily criticized for his inability to control the men he appointed. After leaving the presidency, hardship found him once again. A bad investment wiped out his entire fortune, leaving him in poverty. At the same time, he was diagnosed with terminal throat cancer. Facing debt and death, Grant embarked on one last battle. He began writing his memoirs, racing against time to tell his story and provide for his family. He wrote with the same focus and determination that had won him the war. Day after day, through excruciating pain, he put his life onto the page. He wrote about his early struggles, his military campaigns, and his vision for the country. Just days after completing the final manuscript, Ulysses S. Grant passed away. His memoirs became an instant classic, hailed as one of the greatest military autobiographies ever written. They not only secured his family's financial future, but also cemented his legacy. The story of Ulysses S. Grant is a powerful reminder that our past failures do not have to define our future. He was the unlikely hero, the quiet warrior, the man who rose from the depths of despair to save a nation and fight for a more just world. His life proves that true strength isn't about being perfect. It's about getting back up every single time you fall. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more stories of the incredible figures who shaped our world.